Welcome to Synthetic Oil Protection. I'm your host, Eben.
I'm Jeff. How you doing tonight?
And tonight is another beautiful night here on Synthetic Oil Protection, and we're going to be getting into some really interesting stuff. But you know what? We got to answer the question for you.
Oh.
Should you warm up your car before driving it? Well, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're also going to talk about how to get your car to warm up quicker. Now this is what, show 40, Jeff?
41.
41.
41.
We're on 41 now, so this is show 41. Now you can look back at all the other shows all the way back to number 1 when Jeff and I started with our live videos. And
a little awkward back there.
I know, we've come a long way. And but tonight, just so you know exactly what's on this video, we're going to be talking about how to protect your cooling system for it to warm up quicker.
Yeah.
We're also going to talk about changing your coolant and how your engine warms up. Yep. So that's going to be the topic tonight. You can go through this whole video, check it all out. And well, we're just here relaxing tonight. Make a little cheers for a little peace and quiet.
Cheers. Cheers to peace and quiet.
If she gives me a little peace, I'll be quiet.
I doubt that.
Hopefully, Jeff. See? I swear I had my thing.
You gotta be hopeful.
I know.
I was talking about the quiet.
All right, I like it. I like it. That's good, Jeff. That's a good deed. That's good. I like that. Jeff's smart.
Do we need to warm up our cars? I remember when I was a kid that my dad would send me out early. Maybe a couple minutes, 3-4 minutes early.
So when was this? How many years ago? What type of car?
Well, we had a '68 Chevelle.
All right.
So, and honestly, if you didn't get that thing warm, it didn't run very well.
Right.
Did you ever have an older carbureted car or a real old fuel injected car?
I never had one. The only one that I have is the new one, but now the 59 Cadillac now on the channel, but that's about it. And I have no cold start because we're here in Vegas. So
have you ever had to let it warm up or anything like that?
Not really. It's just on idle up for about, I would say, a minute, but I have the Dominator coolant boost in it though.
Okay.
So it doesn't take long to get a little heat.
So the idle up that you're talking about on older vehicles, you used to have to sit there and you'd go out, you'd set the choke. There were a couple of ways you could do it. Some of them had a pull choke where you actually had to pull a knob on your dash. And what the choke does is it actually covers the carburetor so less air and more fuel gets in there. Because when an engine's cold, the only way for it to keep going or to get burned is to load it up. A lot of fuel.
All right. Now
obviously there's too much fuel. If you ever flooded a carburetor before, you'll crank it till you die and it still won't get any, you've basically washed everything out. But what happened is heat would rise up and take the choke. If it's got the electronic choke or the thermal choke, it'll close it for you. If it's got a manual choke, you'll start hearing the engine go faster and faster and faster, and that's when you know to pull the choke off.
All right.
Those are your older vehicles. But I'm going to take a stab that not many of you guys watching this have ever had to do that, and if you have, well, good on you because you've had some cool cars. But newer vehicles, they actually have automatic idle up. If you listen to your car, as soon as you start it, your RPMs will be higher than your resting idle. Your resting idle somewhere between 500 to 750, and when you start the vehicle, your idle will jump at a minimum to 1,000. My car, for the first 3 or so minutes it's running, it's almost at $2,000.
And which one do you have?
It's on the little Toyota Corolla.
Now a lot of people love the Corolla.
Oh, I love my Corolla.
So say someone out there, one of our viewers that are watching this right now, Jeff, say they have a Corolla. You think they ought to wait until that idle comes down, or can they get out there and just punch out through the day, start driving?
And here's the thing, you know what? Your engine, to get up to temperature, the high idle will actually go way quicker if you start driving because you're putting a load on the engine, so it's getting warmed up quicker. So, you'll
drive it.
Yeah, just drive it.
Now, the mechanics back in the old days, when they used to say, "Oh, don't drive it. You got to warm it up first."
That's right.
Tell them why. Why was that on those older cars?
I mean, think about it. First off, the oil viscosities they were using back then, we're talking straight 50, straight 40, straight 30, 10, 40.
Wow.
All those really, really heavyweight oils. Hell yeah, you got to get that stuff warm before it starts flowing. Now, most cars now, the average oil viscosity to me is 520. That's the median.
Now, I had a lot of people, they go, I heard a mechanic, they go, well, some of them have a different metal head and a different metal block. And that difference, you have to warm it up.
You know
can
what?
crack the heads.
I don't buy into that. To be honest, that doesn't seem like a thing. It's going to warm up how it's going to warm up. The only difference is if you have dissimilar metals, which a lot of engines do, they'll have a steel or cast iron block and they'll have an aluminum head, is expansion rates when you overheat. So aluminum expands further and faster than iron does. So if you've got iron block aluminum head and you overheat it really bad, the aluminum will actually expand, stretch the cylinder head bolts, and then you've got a blown head gasket.
So you're saying as far as warming it up, though, it's not going to be that much of a difference. Yeah.
You know what? You hop in, start your car, put on your seatbelt, check your mirrors, and by the time you're all done with that, you're ready to roll. You've got an engine from the bottom to the top. You know your lifters have pumped up. If you got a little clatter, everything's got lube. It's time to roll.
So when she's cold, especially in the morning, you want to go ahead and maybe add a little lube, Jeff.
Well,
what is something that they can do to help those valves run a little quieter? Is there anything they can do?
Well, I mean, if you want, with your you throw some PI or some upper cylinder, and that'll help quiet up your engine a little bit.
Yep.
If you know what, another thing, if you do start hearing a clatter in cold weather, you might want to see when your last oil change was, because like we said, oil will thicken, and thicker oil takes longer to travel, takes longer to pump up the lifters, and therefore will give you some noise. I had a vehicle that every 3,000 miles, without fail, it would make noise when it was ready for its oil change. Like, start just...
Now, Jeff, for everyone that's new to the channel, we want to thank you for coming to the channel. Also, if you're also new, you want to watch this, you can subscribe to the channel, tap the notification bell, you'll be able to come back and watch all this important information for your vehicle later. Now, Jeff here, if you're new to the channel, he is our master mechanic on the channel. So Jeff has, 15, 20 years experience
Over 20 years.
in the battlefields. And Jeff is basically untouchable now. I think he's here. I think he's beside me.
Wait a minute, I'm here.
He's really here. So Jeff has been in the Army, and he's done all different types of diesel work. So Jeff is a certified master mechanic, and that's why we bring him in to answer these questions. Now, we got some ATF fluid here, and I have to answer their question. I know they're thinking, well, my car seems to shift sluggish when it's cold.
Boy, does
So
it.
why the heck would it shift sluggish?
All right.
Why?
Well, the fluid needs to warm up to get thinner, okay? Your pressures going through those little tiny passageway, because the fluid is thick, is actually a little bit higher. You've got a little bit higher pressure because of that. So it's got clutches that are sandwiching, you've got higher fluid pressures, you've got fluid that just isn't draining and flowing right, so it takes at least a mile or two to get that fluid up to operating temperature. There's even some vehicles, I know, Ford Explorers, the mid-2000s, it's got a 5R55, that's the transmission. It has a thermostat.
I've heard that name many times.
Yeah, 5R55. That's the one when you got under the car, it's got the little star in the middle of the drain plug.
Little heck, yeah. Star thing, yeah.
That's the one.
Wow.
So that actually has a thermostatically controlled transmission cooler. Most of the time, you've seen transmission coolers, it's just a loop, right?
Yeah.
This has a thermostat inside of it.
So that's one more thing that can stay closed or open.
Yeah. But I mean, basically what it does is it holds the fluid back from being cooled until it gets up to temperature, therefore getting your transmission up to temperature quicker as well.
That's great.
All your components need to be up to temperature. All the experimenting, and they say cold start's bad, all this kind of stuff, your vehicle is designed to run at operating temperature.
And Jeff, tell them what that temperature usually is, plus or minus.
Yeah, plus or minus, your engine coolant temp sensor should read anywhere between 180 to all the way up to, I would go 230.
And that's on like a Mercedes, a hot engine, a hot running engine.
Yeah, LS1, something like that, yeah. So, But yeah, no, everything is designed for your vehicle to be up to temperature. So along with not having to warm it up, driving after 30 seconds, it's also good for your transmission. Now, one thing I do recommend, vehicles that have transmission issues, now you're idled up, that's perfectly fine. You drop it into gear. If you sit there and you wait for it to drop in gear and you smash the gas at the same time, start it, put it in reverse, feel for it to fully engage, because if you hit the gas before it's fully in gear, you're going to have just a little bit of a bang or even a little bit of slippage. You're not going to notice it, but trust me, the transmission remembers. That's right. Transmission never forgets.
That's interesting, Jeff. And so say someone's just getting their toes wet, and a lot of people that are actually watching our channel, Texas, California, got tons of people in Florida. I want to thank all our wonderful subscribers from those areas. They're trying the products left and right.
Sweet.
We have to do a little something for them. Let's just say someone's new to the channel. And they want to know how to get their car to shift better.
Well, shoot.
When it's cold, how can they get it to warm up quicker? What are some of the things that they can do that are inexpensive, saving gas money? What can they do?
So we got a couple of battle tactics. First tactic is we can attack our cooling system. Here's the deal. Almost all cars now have a transmission oil cooler. Okay, transmission oil cooler is a coolant to transmission fluid exchange inside of a little brass cylinder, basically. So you get your engine up to temperature. Now the heat from the engine or from the engine coolant is now putting heat towards the transmission until the transmission gets up to temperature. Then it goes the other way. But you get your vehicle up to temperature quickly. You get you do your coolant flush. You put in your coolant boost. And if it's been a while, or you're concerned, or you've ever ran Dex Cool, this is a step I highly recommend before switching over and getting some good stuff in there.
Wow.
Do a legitimate, super awesome, fantastic flush.
All right.
And by that I mean, what you're going to do is you're going to find and locate, and this is able to do on most cars, not all.
All right.
Okay. You take the thermostat out.
Tell them the easy ones. What are the easy cars to do?
Off the top of my
so
head,
they know.
let's say Ford Crown Victoria with 4.6 liter. That thermostat's sitting right up there on top. So that'll be our experiment.
My Corvette too. It has it right up top.
Right there.
Yeah.
So easy peasy. A lot of them use the gasket and the housing for the thermostat to hold the gasket in place. So if you have a thermostat that has what we would call an integral gasket, you just cut the bottom of the thermostat and the little center of it drops right out. You put that back in place and reseal your system. Drain out all of the antifreeze. And for me to do this the correct way, fill it with distilled water.
A couple times, right?
Yeah, well, we're going to use a bottle of flush.
All right.
The Prestone, and there's a couple other companies that make a chemical flush compound for cooling systems. Now, here's the thing. If you have any coolant leaks, we've discussed if you put some good synthetic oil in an engine that's leaking, it's going to clean the hell out of it and make it leak better.
Yeah.
Cooling system, same way. If you've got a cooling system on the edge, you smell coolant, or you think you have a leak, don't do this.
Just get it fixed.
Yeah, get it fixed first. Now, after you get it fixed, here's what you do, or if your system's already sound. You pull that thermostat, you cut it out, you fill the entire system with water, and you fill it with the flush chemical. Run the vehicle for the amount of time it says. I want to say somewhere 15 to 20 minutes. After you're done with that, here's where the pro tip comes in, okay?
I love this.
Time to make a mess. So drain out what you put in there, because I don't want you flushing that chemical stuff unless it says you can, okay? Some products are actually biodegradable.
Yeah,
That's why you're filling the block with water. So if the product is biodegradable, good to go. After you've done that, find out which way is the inlet and which way is the outlet, and you're going to take a garden hose. You're going to shove a garden hose in the inlet. Yeah, this is where it gets fun. You're going to start that car up. You're going to run that thing, and you are going to watch it spew out everything. The engine, the water pump is a pump, the oil pump is a pump, the transmission is a pump. Everything in there is a pump. So if we can do that trick with the transmission for the flush, right, you can do it with a cooling system.
I love it.
Okay? Make sure you have a good volume of water, because the liquid is exactly what lubricates the little seal on the front of the water pump.
Now also, Jeff, let them know it's important though that they try to get as much of the regular garden hose water out of
Oh,
the end,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely, yes.
So you want to have your distilled water in at the end, and try not to leave much garden hose water in there.
Exactly.
Because it does have a little bit of calcium. and stuff.
Yeah, it's got calcium, semi-metals and all that kind of good stuff, salts. So yeah, no, you do want to get as much of that out as you can. But that is the only way you'll get if you've had a system that's got like scaling. If you can put your finger in there and you can smudge something out of your radiator, I've seen where I pull the cap off and it looks like dog poop. I'll be honest, man. It looks like
Stephen Carter.
It looks like
he had one that looked like a load of
Yeah.
That was
Insane.
hilarious, yeah.
So yeah, if you've gotten, and in some cases, I've had some cases where it was just so bad that I've said, look, we have to go and replace the radiator, the hoses. I mean, there's a point where the system just gets so bad, you've got to work really hard. And then you got to hope and pray that you can flush and clean the block, because there's no way to clean the cooling system in the block aside from doing a really good flush.
Now I got a little announcement, Jeff. Turns out I was shooting around on my AMSOIL thing, and I found out that there's a promotion coming up, and it starts today, Thursday. It starts Thursday morning, so you're already good to go now. It's 6:30 Vegas time, and then it's like East Coast. It's way late.
Yeah,
but
at 3 hours.
Yeah,
so
9:30. 9:30. Yeah. So if you are a preferred customer, one of our preferred customers, whether you're me, Jeff, Diesel Steve, Stephen Carter, doesn't matter who. Once you're a preferred customer, you get the booklet, you get the quarterly AMSOIL magazine, and then there's also promotions, and the new promotion is on any orders $75 or more.
Ooh.
You get a can of Miracle Wash.
Oh,
so it's like an all-purpose wash, takes water stains off your clear coat. It's a wash and wax combined.
Wow, I
and
like
it's
it.
called Miracle Wash.
Miracle!
And I've tried it, and it's definitely something I would say to really get stuff off is the best thing.
Okay.
Now, you're still going to want to wax your car, obviously. And then the other thing for Canadians, they have a can of MP Metal Protector, and that's one of our favorites.
Oh, let me tell you.
We use that to drive moisture out of locks.
I use it for everything, man.
Jess uses it for everything.
It has become, as Eben likes to say, a utility piece in my belt, because honestly, I've used it as brake-free before. I've used it to clean a little bit, but I used it on a lock. I used it on a hood latch. I used it on my front door. I even showed it. I know this is gonna sound stupid as hell. My front door of my shop, I had to jiggle the key.
Remember that.
We're talking for years.
I'm
talking like 12 years of working at the same place, same jiggle every time I go in. I take a can of the MP, I spray it inside the lock and inside the hasp, and I called Eben. I called him on the phone. I said, Eben, you got to come see this.
So I come over up and start fingering this sucker.
Yeah. It's a true testimony. It really is.
It just went like butter afterwards. So yeah, so the MP Metal Protector is totally complimentary. Any order $75 or more for Canada.
Nice.
And if you are thinking about becoming a preferred customer, all you do is you spend like $10 for 6 months, $20 for the year. You get the free shipping. You get the wholesale pricing at 25% off all the products, transmission fluid. Whether you're doing an oil analysis kit, where you can check your oil, we'll put a playlist up here in the corner on that. The AMSOIL Signature Series, the best oil, you name it, you get it all at 25%.
I just want to show everybody something,
to 'em, Jeff.
because there's some question arose at some point.
I love questions.
So on the Signature Series,
Yes.
oh, this is the DCT. I'm sorry. Signature Series oil. It actually shows right here, because all oils to go into automobiles have to be API-SN. Okay.
Yep.
If you don't put API-SN, you're not only not emissions compliant for almost all warranties. If you're not using API oil, your warranty would be invalidated. Fortunately for us, somebody had a question on whether or not, so I did the homework.
I like that.
And found out. And if you're interested in going and finding it, it's an interesting path to get there.
right.
So go on to Google. Google Express Lube and Auto Repair.
Yes.
And please read my most recent 1-star review.
All right.
And in that 1-star review, because there was a little confusion, I posted the link to the API certification. There's actually also a warranty statement on the AMSOIL website stating that it will not void the warranty. So if you would go and just check out that 1-star review, and if you want to put your reviews up there, I'd be more than happy to see them up there.
Yep.
So.
Yep. We appreciate that. And also, we wanted to mention another thing about the products. These products are actually at distribution centers all over the U.S. and Canada. And they're strategically placed, millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Equidistant.
Liquid gold is distributed all over. And yes, like Jeff, I love that wording, equidistant. And when you order AMSOIL, because I get a lot of people, they say it's really tough to find. They say this, they say that. It's the easiest thing in the world now.
It tells you where to get it.
It tells you where to get it. We have our links in the description section below. You can click on it, both my link and Jeff's link. You can also check out Jeff's Instagame. He's on there all the time. He's the official Magic Mechanic.
Magic Mechanic, what's up?
Yep. So we do, Jeff does a lot of magic. And the other thing I wanted to mention too was you get it basically next day. So if you order before noon,
oh shit,
boom, 80% of people in the US will get the products next day. So basically we have a ton of people in California. That actually comes from the AMSOIL distribution center in Las Vegas. So
nice.
If you live in like Tucson or you live in like LA, you'll actually get it next day. If you order before noon, free shipping, 25% off.
How are you gonna say no to free shipping?
Yep.
Do you understand how much lubricant product weighs?
It's expensive.
This stuff is heavy. Shipping it free. I mean, just imagine you needed a rock.
I mean, think about a big old box of lube, how heavy it is. Look at it.
Think if you went to your local FedEx and mailed a box of rocks next day to California, how much you'd pay.
Exactly.
Trust me, you're getting a hell of a deal.
And even if you don't order $100 worth, you know what the shipping is, Jeff?
What's the shipping?
$8.99.
Holy, wow. Yeah, no, it's,
you can't even get a love you card, a Hallmark love you card for $8.99 anymore.
And to mail it to somebody.
A three-dimensional Hallmark card is $9.99.
Flowers go over much better.
Isn't that hilarious, Jeff? They really are. They're like $9.99, and then you got the freaking stamp and stuff.
That's insane.
That's funny. So what else do we got, Jeff? What else? P's and Q's? Anything going on at the shop you want to share with anybody? See where we're at.
Oh yeah. So we've got we're about to start a nice little journey on a Mercury Comet. We've got one at the shop. We're going to be doing some really interesting modifications on the transmission. He's got a C6 in there, and I believe, I was talking to my trans guy, we're going to go with some 4L60 guts, and then we got to get a little bit of a brain cap on it so it can shift. We're going to do the Edelbrock EFI intake, so a little bit of a brain required for that. I know people don't like brains, but they got to be there for some stuff. And then we're going to do a front disc brake conversion. I am trying to figure out right now, because it's a 460, it's a big block in this little car. So before I put bigger brakes and make it faster and all this crazy stuff, I might need to figure out how to get some sort of brake booster. Because as it stands right now, it is just a master cylinder on the wall. Does yours have brake booster, or is yours just straight a master cylinder?
I think it has a brake booster.
Okay, you could hit the brakes and jerk yourself forward?
Yeah, I mean, you can touch it with just the tip of my toes.
Then you've got a brake booster. So this vehicle does not have a brake booster. And when you have to say, Our Father who art in heaven, you got to get like 3 lines into the Our Father prayer before it'll start stopping, I think, at least.
Oh my God, that's scary.
Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking. I didn't even look at it. Happens when you don't look.
That's good, Jeff.
So,
Jeff is a natural.
Whoa.
No matter what he does, it's natural.
It's look all natural. Whoa! I don't even know what that is. It's the dead. All right,
I
so
don't even know what we're doing.
where are we at?
You know what, Jeff? I think we ought to share a little bit about you.
A little bit about me.
Let's go into that, Jeff. How did we even meet each other?
Well, let's see. Me and Eben first met at a place called Wonderground. The Wondergrounds are fun. We've talked about it before. It's our fun little magic experience once a month that we go to in Henderson. It's hosted by Jeff McBride, and they got the usual characters: Tim Wise, Will Bradshaw, Scott Steelfire. The list goes on.
And it's called the Olive Mediterranean.
Yes, we got to pump it right, because that's honestly
Give it to him, Jeff.
that's where I started. That's where I started getting my chops. I didn't perform or do any magic. I went there and I started dabbling a little bit, and then we meet. Our community of magicians is unbelievable.
Think of a pilot light that got lit.
Yeah.
Jeff was inspired.
3 years ago.
Jeff was looking for something more in life.
Yeah.
Not willing to just sit back and get kicked around like a volleyball.
Magic was my outlet. So we sat and somehow we talked about automotive. Then we went and sat outside and talked for like 30 minutes or 40 minutes.
And I didn't believe that Jeff was a mechanic. I called bullshit. I said this guy's he's just another entertainer in town, because we see a lot of different entertainers, and a lot of the entertainers, they tell
Some people will say anything.
they're packing 16, 20 inches rock hard. The reality is, Jeff, that there's no one that's 20 inches rock hard. Ain't gonna happen. But the point is that I don't know how we got in that subject, but
no idea. That's okay. We're back.
she was talking about something like that, and I said, I don't want to hear about it. No, just kidding. That's terrible. That's terrible. So basically, so Jeff and I, we had this talk, and I'm like, this is so cool. I met someone that loves cars like I do, and so we ended up talking. Then Jeff actually became an AMSOIL dealer.
Yeah, took a little work.
And what really made you say, I'm going to do that? What made you pushed you over that edge to take the next step? Because we have lots of preferred customers that are switching over to dealers all the time, Jeff.
That's awesome.
And they want to know why would you do that?
I'll tell you. Well, I had my journey through the world of synthetics. I started with Mobile One.
Mobile.
And then, switched to the purple stuff. And then
power.
From that, I went to AMSOIL. Now, each one was better than the last, and unfortunately, the last one I was with, it made me a little bit sad. The company who bought Royal Purple, Calumet, didn't really, and I don't even want to say this is a little bit of a heartache thing, but Royal Purple used to do some amazing stuff.
And Mobile One.
Well, no, even better than this. 5 years ago, I was, my appetite for oil.
Yeah.
I sell more AMSOIL than I did Royal Purple, and I was the number 3 guy in town for Royal Purple sales.
Wow.
The very last year, the Royal Purple Bowl, I don't know if it was the last year. It was the last year they did awesome stuff. We got a sponsored staycation here. We went and stayed up at the Mirage. They brought us down to Fremont Street. There was a huge party. I mean, this was all expenses paid by Royal Purple. Let me tell you, there was a glass of alcohol and food within a foot of your arm at all times this entire weekend. And after that, they had sold, and first off, I felt like they stopped pushing their technology forward. I was having issues with burn-offs. Telling somebody to go 6,000 miles on an oil change and then coming back to me in 3 and saying, hey, I'm a quart low. I'm like, well, shit, it's a free top-up because I put the premium product in there. So not only was I not using a product that I felt was as good, I was also having to give some of it away because, you come in, you had an oil change, you get a top-up. Even with the AMSOIL, if you come in, you get your Signature Series or your OE or whatever, within your oil change, as long as you don't have a gross consumption problem, you get a top-up.
That's scary, Jeff.
So yeah, and you know what? To be honest with you, I get better prices on AMSOIL than I did on Royal Purple all day. Dealer prices on AMSOIL are better than dealer prices on Royal Purple. I'm not going to go into any of the numbers or anything like that.
And if you have any questions and you're a shop out there that's thinking about it, contact Jeff.
Please call
What's your
me.
number, Jeff?
Call me at the shop. The shop number is 702-433-5823. You can text me on the bat line. The bat line is 702-907-9227. Anytime you want to send me information, ask me a question, call me. I will be here. Just let me know. And if you got to leave a message and I'm busy, I'll call you back. I got secretaries and stuff that make me be responsible about calling people back.
That's beautiful.
It is. It's nice.
Man, I can't wait.
So you got a number, right?
Yeah, I got a number.
What's your number?
My number is
We did it backwards. This is why you're drawing a blank. First off, let's start with it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Go.
all right, here we go. 2 o'clock in the morning. You're thinking about thinking, but the thought doesn't go away. You don't know where to hide, where to turn. Even though the sheets aren't on you, your friend or wife or whatever ripped them off you, girlfriend, you're sitting there. Boyfriend, doesn't matter who it is. And now you're like, I gotta do something. I gotta make tonight productive. What do? You call me.
Hell yeah.
But you can think about it more. Maybe watch a couple more videos.
Oh, go down the
Then-
rabbit hole.
Exactly.
Oh,
You
I love
see
the
the
rabbit
results. You say, well, Eben, sounds like you're trying to sell me something. No way, Jose. I would never sell nothing to anyone.
Even get stuff bought.
The only thing I do, that's right, Jeff, I get things bought for one reason, and that reason is results. And we share those results on the channel, and you can check out that little icon in the corner, check it out, and you'll see all my oil analysis videos, people's reaction to the products, and we share it all because to me that's all that really counts is giving back more and more and more. We got the Ebens Giveaway coming up.
32.
All right, and we got our timer coming up.
That
Yes.
button.
Yes.
That's that button right
The
there.
subscribe button.
Subscribe!
Subscribe to the channel.
And the notification bell.
Yeah, click the notification bell, and that way when we publish a new video, you're going to feel your phone vibrate, and you're going to go, oh, there's a new video, and it
And
just
you'll
came
know
up.
right away it's time to be entertained.
Yes, yes,
Time
yes.
for entertainment.
Yes. So definitely check out some of that information. And then when you're still thinking a little bit, you might come to a little bit of a wall. Don't worry about the wall. I want you to kick right through it. BAM! Right through.
Like
You
they
call
say,
me.
Forget about it.
Yep, you call me, 702-472-3614. Even if I don't pick up, don't fret. It's still a show I bet. All you do is just text me. So yeah.
33 minutes.
So that's all you do. So if you have any questions, just let me know.
Perfect.
And Jeff, anything else?
That's it. I think we're good. Let's
All
give our
right.
cheers.